Hi guys, it's Claris and welcome to the third part of my watercolor beginner series. And in this part we are going to be tackling how to do side florals to enhance our bigger florals like we did from last week. Now last week we did the florals and then I kind of went ahead after and enhanced them by adding what we learned in week 1, which was leaves. And that looks like this right here. So if you were following the series along or following along with my series, this is week 1, so part 1 of the series. This is week 2, which is the florals. And now week 3, we're going to be doing some added cute little things that we can add to the florals. Now, this is just me this is a sheet that I had done during a class, doing one of my one-on-one watercolor classes. And I figured, you know what? It looks really pretty. It's pretty much the same leaves that we did from week 1. Let's use this to add the side florals, and you can see how it all ties in together to create a nice, pretty, loose floral painting. So let's begin. So to start off, these are the brushes I'm going to use. I'm keeping the mop brush handy. I might use it, I might not, we'll see. So I'm just kind of keeping it handy on the side. I'm definitely going to be using my Escoda number 2, and I will also use the Silver Black Velvet, not in the 8, in the 4. So I'm going to use my 4 and my 2 because these are going to be smaller florals compared to our big blooms. All right, and then for colors, I am going to be using my Daniel Smith Quinacridone in Rose, which is right there. I'll definitely be using my green from St. Petersburg, and I want to mix this in with some blue so we can get like hints of, actually, yes, hints of blue and the Quinacridone in Rose to kind of form a violet. And for that, I will be using the indigo that I have from St. Petersburg again. All right, so that's what I'll be using. I have some color pre-mixed on here from doing this, so I'm just gonna kind of go ahead and get it directly from there. But you'll definitely be seeing me mix some of the Quinacridone in Rose, and we are good to start. So the first thing I am going to do is using my number 2, I am going to get some of the green that I have from, not Daniel Smith, from St. Petersburg. And I think I need a little bit more, so I'm going to get some more from the pan. And just mix it on here. And like I mentioned in all my videos, feel free to use the colors that you have. Feel free to venture out and try something entirely different from me. Colors are just another way of expressing. So really don't kind of follow along to the T. If you are comfortable, I do encourage you to kind of go out and try your own thing. These are my favorite colors, which is why I always gravitate and use them. So just know that. All right, so we have our green, and this is what I'm going to do. First, I'm going to give myself some direction so I know exactly where I am going to be creating my florals. So I'll be creating the stem and so on and so forth, and probably give it some direction so I know exactly where things are going to be. So I will do mine. Let's do one over, for the sake of this video, let's do one here. And then just dipping the tip in water. I'm going to keep my water right there so you can see me do that. And then you can even join some of the leaves if you wish. I'm going to have one protruding right there. I want to get some more of the green. Let's put that here so my hand is not coming in the way constantly. And I'm going to do one here. All right, there we go. All right, so now once we have this, we can go ahead and add our colors. So I am going to start off directly by getting some of the quinacridone rose, and let's use the number 4 for that. So I'm going to get some directly from there. It's like one of my favorite pinks to use, and I'm just going to kind of mix it on the side so you can see that pretty pink that it kind of gives us. And here's what I'm going to do. My first set of color on here is going to be a darker, more opaque pink, and this is what I want to do. So I want to go in these areas and very lightly do some dabs of color, and essentially this is what it would look like. So and kind of with the idea that it's going to be like a loose style. So I'm just going to add a couple of strokes, like dots rather, and then as I'm going down I'm just kind of like making it like bigger displays or strokes of color. All right, same thing over here, and you can get the color directly from the cake if you wish. And let's just kind of go on, and once I've done this, I'm going to get some of that blue. You're literally just like adding dabs, okay, first. So I just want to make sure I have enough of the pink before we kind of get into the blue. So sorry, before we get into the blue, I want to do, actually no, yes, let's get into the blue. So I'm going to get into the blue. That's my indigo, and I'm just going to get a couple of dabs happening just in the area where the pink is already there, and you'll see why we are doing this. And again, I'm trying to like taper off and get some loose stuff happening here, right, just there, and that's it. And now once we have this, we're going to go in with our number 2, and with just water on it, we're going to add the same kind of strokes that we've been adding. And what this enables, or what this produces, is like a good mix in a very loose manner and blending. And we want these colors to blend, which is why we are doing this. And this will give us that nice, soft feel to the florals. And press your brush down, kind of like really make sure you're leaving white space, guys. Don't forget the white space. Make sure you're definitely going the areas where the blue is very prominent and kind of mixing it in with that pink, so it doesn't look like a stark blue and a stark pink kind of painting, I guess you can call it. And it's going to add a couple more here, strokes. And then finally, what you can do is just, you know, getting the areas where you got that darker pink, and you can just kind of add some stabs. I was going to say stabs. Well, they are kind of like you're stabbing the paper with color. Just put them in areas where, you know, there's the blue, so you get that nice blend. All right, so we have something like that. And now I am going to go in using this brush, and I'm going to get some of my quinacridone rose directly from the color cake, and I want to add strokes all around. And really give this some shape, you know, especially in the areas where we have our, oops, water is falling down, especially in the areas where it's still damp, so that it gives us a nice rendition, and it's like a burst of color. And this method is very similar to the wisteria that I did. It's also like the same method that I've used for the lavender, I believe, that I had done. which was technically not correct because it was a very full lavender as opposed to like a thin strand. But yes, you can use the same technique for all of that, and you're just kind of going along and making it, giving it some dabs, and that's what makes it like a pretty picture. So now I'm just going to mix whatever I have with the blue to give me that purple, and it's giving me a nice purple. And now I'm going to go back in and add some of that purple in there as well, so it gives us a nice rendition. Again, blend of colors, right? It's all about the blending. And do your little dotty dabs if you can. And then what I'm going to do is add some splatter. And I'm just adding it this way. The splatter would also work extra nice with a larger brush, because you can see how tiny it is here. Or even if your area is damp and then you go in and splatter, that would be nice too. And finally, you can just add a little bit of extra green to the strands. So just taking my green, and I'm just gonna like add a little bit of strands here and there of stems. And my main reasoning for doing that is so that it kind of benefits from the whole dampness of the pink and gives us a nice enough blend with the pink, so it doesn't look like a stark line that's just in there. And again, we're just kind of using very loose strokes to kind of create these, right? And going along as we do them. And there we go. We have our side florals that we can kind of add as and where we want to in our paintings. So I hope you guys enjoyed this tutorial. Let me know in the comments what you guys think. And if you have any other questions, I am happy to answer them. Please send me your work on Instagram and Facebook. I love seeing your work. And you know exactly where to follow me. All the links to the to my social media are in the description below, and also links to any of the supplies I'm using are also below. So feel free to just browse through that if you want to have an idea of what I am using. And yeah, we'll catch you guys next week. Bye.